Hi and welcome to Indigo Starfire. My name is Bevin, and in this video I'm going to be looking into the question, what's next in your love story? There are 3 groups to choose from. Group 1 is the Carnelian Heart. Group 2 is the Rose Quartz Heart. And group 3 is the Tiger Iron Heart. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups, or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to, I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you'd like to jump ahead. And up next is a close-up photo of the crystals to help you better make your selection. Hi, Group 1. You chose the Carnelian Heart. So let's see what's next in your love story. We have building blocks, go the distance, desert vision quest, Milky Way perspective, Caradwin wisdom banishment, and Coventina clarity emotions harmony. So there's a sense here with this Caradwin energy, especially banishment, doubts being erased. So this feels to be something that if you are interacting with someone currently, they may go the distance, literally go out on a limb, bring you some kind of peace offering, some kind of evidence of their deeper feelings for you, some kind of a declaration that lets you know they have the best of intentions for you, or they intend to do what is necessary to overcome any distance, any challenges, any obstacles between the two of you. This can even involve sort of taking things to the next level if you had been just sort of casually with one another or uncertain what the future has to hold between the two of you. This is a sense of something that is provided that helps to kind of put your heart at ease, so you're able to move into more of a flow state with whatever may happen in the future with this individual, which it feels like will point in a very positive direction. There's a sense here of almost heart-to-heart conversations with this Coventina energy and clarity and emotions, so some kind of deeper truth that is conveyed. It kind of ties in and dovetails with the idea of building blocks and something that has been kind of mounting for quite some time within this person. They may have been gearing up to create some kind of deeper communication, a revelation of feelings, or really setting the stage to start to discuss kind of longer term plans between the two of you. This may be something where this person has pulled back their energy, kind of gone to introspect or maybe distance themselves from you for a period of time. That might have been what has caused a bit of uneasiness with you as far as like, what's the future of this situation? Are they getting ready to run in the opposite direction? Should I mitigate kind of my expectations and sort of limit what I anticipate the future of the situation is, kind of leading you to move into more of a deeper emotional space, or even trying to kind of guard or protect your emotions? And it feels like this is something where someone will emerge, this person will emerge almost with very positive news, something that really demonstrates their willingness to go the distance, do what they need to do in order to take strides in the direction of greater kind of conjunction between the two of you emotionally. So this can even start to talk about kind of the long range plans between the two of you, or just something that kind of indicates that they see you as part of their future, something that they may do as well that kind of brings you in closer to the fold of who they are, deeper into that emotional space. They may start to open up about things, even about their personal history, their background, backstory, experiences in love, ideas of sort of what that idyllic relationship would look like for them in the future that include almost phrases instead of I, they're talking in the sense of we or us, where you feel very incorporated within all of this. If this is a situation where maybe you're single, you don't have anybody in mind, or you're in kind of a back and forth with someone, this can also indicate, kind of this Caradwin energy, the idea of with wisdom that time apart or even time on your own, time in kind of a single energy has really helped to sort of break down obstacles and barriers in the past that might have led to you sort of repeating patterns in romance or repeating patterns with a particular person, to where again there's this essence of almost emerging stronger, emerging more certain than you were before. If this is you getting back out in the dating scene, it feels that that will lead to some very positive results, or you'll have an ability to kind of vet out better partners this time around. If it's somebody that you were dealing with, in the past that had been at a distance from you, there again is the sense of wisdom that has taken root in the absence between the two of you, something where they haven't just allowed kind of time to pass and nothing has been done, but this feels like somebody that has kind of gone above and beyond in a lot of ways to deeply introspect, uncover kind of the nature of their own patterns, their own shortcomings in this situation, and has put in a lot of work, has been very assertive in trying to overcome those obstacles and challenges that might have been a block to giving and receiving love equitably with you in the past. And it feels like this is also kind of the energy of someone who has really sought to kind of excavate within themselves why they are the way they are in terms of romance. They may have really gone on some kind of pilgrimage, soul quest within themselves, and they're sort of emerging stronger, more confident, more certain than ever. There's a sense of being drawn back to you, wanting to move in your direction, not with a repetition of what you'd experienced in your previous cycle or what the trend has been between the two of you. But there's almost a sense of maybe giving you some kind of bird's eye perspective as far as what their motivations were in the past, what the limitations were in the past. Again, that idea of like heart-to-heart conversations, something that really helps to kind of get rid of any sort of shadows of doubt. If you were wondering, if you were sort of making this connection up or feeding all your energy into something and it wasn't really reciprocated, this can be somebody that comes out of hiding and lets you know that they felt the deep intensity. They felt the deeper and kind of higher possibilities in this situation, but maybe were sort of blocked off or operating in kind of a lack mentality in the past, wounds of the past that they'd been holding on to that had kind of kept them closed off, or keeping the idea of like happily ever after as something of a fairy tale, something of wishful thinking, something that they didn't really anticipate they could have in the here and now in a tangible way. But it feels like time apart or time looking deeply within themselves, soul searching, maybe even some healing they've done of that emotional body, kind of releasing wounds of the past, banishing ghosts of the past from their heart, from the emotional space. It's made room. It's kind of cleared the way for them to give and receive to you in a deeper and more consistent capacity than was the case in the past. So whether this is something, even if you're single and you're kind of projecting your energy out there or starting to entertain the possibility of opening your heart to love again, it feels like you're in this prime kind of position within yourself to start to magnetize in people that are able to give more than individuals in the past had. Work that you've done within yourself to kind of unpack what you've been through, take time that you've taken to reflect and maybe take a step back from just going from relationship to relationship, or sort of maybe tolerating less than you deserve, as might have been the case in the past, any boundaries and barriers you've put up, as far as just kind of keeping that vibration high, remaining optimistic, knowing your worth, knowing your value, knowing what you are kind of deserving of and what you will not settle for. All of that has kind of increased the level of that you are vibrating at, to where what you're magnetizing in, it's a deeper kind of a connection. It's somebody that can really see that value and worth and meet you on that level, meet you more than halfway. So again, somebody that you're currently dealing with, someone from the past that might reemerge, all of this is kind of the essence. What's next in your love story is positive forward momentum. Something that kind of, it helps to really sort of close the door, close the chapter on less than desirable experiences of the past, something that whatever kind of the next step is, whatever the next gesture is, whatever the next conversation entails, it helps you to kind of understand that someone is deeply invested in the situation with you. It gives you the opportunity to kind of pour more of yourself in, or for some of you, just sort of sit in that receptivity energy. If you've been the one sort of holding or sustaining, even holding out hope for the situation, kind of biding your time, or giving somebody space to sort of move at a pace that was comfortable for them, it feels like this is the essence of reciprocity that's coming your way. Something that's going to help you to understand you weren't wasting your time, that whatever has drawn you to this person, the idea of this person, or the experience with an individual up to this point in time, that there's been a reason for that. It's not just been wasted energy. It's not just been wasted time. It's about to come back to you in a way that helps to really elevate the expectations. It kind of matches or more than sort of meets you halfway in terms of what you've invested up to this point in time. This person's getting ready to make that declaration or open themselves or their life up in a more profound way, to where you feel very invited to participate with them. Rather than knocking on a closed door, there's a sense of almost like open access, open entry, deeper intimacy and partnership between the two of you, starting to build and grow and develop based on kind of a deeper layer of disclosure, both the hopes and the fears, as far as what the situation between the two of you could develop into, things that you might not be aware of this person's past, or dreams and ideas that they've had of partnership that have been sort of unattainable up to this point in time. All of this that they kind of start to really turn the nature of your conversations towards, or things that they kind of bring forth that indicate they're trying to break free of that lack mentality. They're trying to move into a state of optimism. They're trying to be as transparent with you as possible, so that maybe you can even kind of match your pace to theirs. Mitigate any kind of expectations that things will move quickly in sort of a stable or solid or long-term direction, but really look at it as kind of a meticulous process. Day by day, you're building in the direction of something stable and solid, but all of that comes not just with blind faith. There's almost something it feels like that is shown or given or revealed. There's just a change and a deepening in kind of the way in which this person is interacting with you, that lets you know they're seeing long-term potential with you in the situation, but it requires more of like a measured pace in order to get there, and opening the doors of their heart space, or providing you some kind of disclosure or inviting you in further. That is their effort to do that. So I'm going to get a little bit of guidance from Spirit about the situation, and then I'll move on into some message cards from this person's higher self, and then close the reading out with some initials. Okay, so we have focus, beauty, and growth. So there's really an essence here. The biggest guidance is to, just cherish the time that you have with this individual, where you're at this stage of your situation. If it feels like the pressure is building, or there's a sense of anticipation, this butterfly here over the third eye chakra really indicates that this individual, the individual on your mind, the person that is involved in this love story with you, they have, future facing plans. They are not wanting to remain in the energy of stagnancy. They are focused on kind of overcoming challenges within themselves to give and receive love to you in the way that kind of matches what you've poured into the situation, and more importantly, what they feel you are worthy of and what you're deserving of, that you don't need to kind of like prove or validate to them. So it's a sense of really allowing this person to have the opportunity to reveal to you the beauty of what they're capable of pouring into another person as far as love is concerned. If you feel like you've kind of been holding your breath in the situation with this individual, again, there's this essence of this is just a phase that you're in with one another. The energies here really speak to more long-term potential, kind of some growing pains that may be happening where you're needing to kind of move a little bit slowly. You've reached some kind of comfort zone or boundaries kind of within one another, emotionally speaking. And so the next kind of phase in this situation, it's going to involve breaking through those boundaries, which may kind of be tenuous. It may be something that is kind of wobbly for this person. It may may be something that is exposing them to a level of vulnerability that they have never shared with another person. It can even involve sort of transcending wounds which have been stubborn to close or that they've been holding on to for quite some time. So it's the essence of really kind of allowing this person to extend themselves to you at more of a slow and measured pace, and that overall this kind of, again, with another butterfly here on this beauty card, this really speaks to the idea of the two of you kind of growing in tandem with one another, sort of feeling your way through the darkness at this point in time. This is what we've experienced with one another up to this point, or this is what we've known of love and partnerships individually at this point. Kind of the wisdom of what worked, what didn't, and leaning into a place of like innovative energy, allowing this person to sort of give more to the situation than they have in the past, but then also, not keeping your needs sort of stunted or silenced. This is the energy that encourages you to be very open and honest when that dialogue begins, when that kind of disclosure begins, as this person is pouring or providing you more. Don't be shy about sort of asking questions, asking for clarification, chiming in as far as if that meets your needs, if that meets what your sort of long-term plans and visions and goals are, as far as love and romance or the situation with this person. There's an energy here of an opportunity to create greater reciprocity or a greater degree of working together as a team, as opposed to just sort of, one person pours in and the other is just exclusively receiving, and it's kind of a back and forth. There's more of an energy of a succinct simultaneity almost between the two of you that really has the opportunity to kind of blossom at this point in time. So it speaks to, being very engaged with this person, very engaging in the conversation or the nature of sort of what's discussed or what's shown, allowing yourself to kind of receive what it is that they have to provide or have to present, but remaining optimistic as far as what the future is holding. If you're in kind of a turbulent period with them now, or it's involving them kind of working up the courage to express something more deeply or open their heart to the situation more deeply, have compassion for that. It might not necessarily be that this is someone who doesn't know what they want, for example, or is uncertain about sort of their feelings in general. It might just stem from the fact that those feelings actually run really deep, but in order to express those to you or allow you to explore those or for those to be known, it requires them to kind of push beyond some sort of a veil that they have put around the nature of how they give and receive love. That may be very long standing. It may involve inner child wounding, or again, like wounds from past relationships. So keeping kind of a temperate sort of vibe is definitely something that can really help the situation to germinate and to blossom and grow in an appropriate pace that really serves both of your emotional needs moving forward. So let's see what this person wants you to know from their higher self. Okay, and they say, I still feel so attracted to you. So this might be very intimidating for them, the level of not just emotions, but kind of the aura that you are presenting. Who you are as a person, as they're getting to know you, as they're spending time with you, as you've reached whatever phase of your relationship that you're in, even if this is someone you're at a distance from. It feels like they are thinking about you. They're thinking about the situation. They're looking at you with love in their eyes, and it may be really triggering for them, triggering a lot of insecurities, almost, can I stand by this individual, and will they see me in kind of the same loving manner that I look at them? Am I enough for this person? So it feels like they're very much drawn to you, like a moth to the flame. But at the same point in time, it's a struggle, or it's requiring them to kind of overcome some sort of hurdle within where they might question, am I worthy and deserving of somebody like this, somebody like you being by my side, or the nature of the love that you give, or who you are as a person. There's almost a sense of this individual feeling very nourished within the radiance of the love that you have to give, or who you are as an individual. And so it's a challenge at this point in time to really sustain the energy of belief that yes, you are in their life for a reason. Yes, you're interacting with them in this loving manner for a reason. Yes, they are worthy of receiving all the love that you have to give, and that it's safe to really provide that in kind. They also say your presence in my life gives me peace. So this is definitely the energy of wanting to move beyond troubled waters that you might be in terms of any ways in which they've held back emotionally, some kind of confession that they need to make, something that they need to provide you with more clarity or insight as far as their feelings are concerned. And understanding, it feels like on this person's part as well, that whatever their behavior has been recently, if it's just been energetically off, or if they've kind of pulled back or retreated within themselves to soul search, or you've been at a distance from this individual, there's a sense of understanding that this has created some kind of unnecessary energy of worry within you. Whatever the next conversation is, it feels to be something very positive. So there's the essence of almost like, try not to worry, try not to stress and fret about things, because these energies really speak to somebody who wants to push things further with you, deepen the bond between the two of you. Put your mind at ease, bring peace to your heart where there may have been disquiet or an uncertainty about sort of what they're feeling, what they're intending, what comes next. They also say my emotions for you are running deep. So yeah, they may be very intimidated by the idea of that, very much wanting to dive into the energies of love with you, but scared to do that, scared to take that plunge. A sense that to open their heart deeply to you, to allow themselves to admit to feelings or just be carried by the current of this love story in general. It may have already been very much life-changing for this person. It may have already dredged up a lot of kind of painful experiences of love in the past where they had high hopes only to have things sort of end in a sour note or end in disrepair. So maybe somebody that's been very closed off and guarded with their emotions, guarded with their heart, very self-protective for some time. But with you, it's almost like it's worth the risk. It's worth that kind of adventure, that leap of faith, regardless of the outcome. They feel very drawn to the idea of pursuing this, furthering the situation, coming out of hiding, or even sort of allowing themselves to be kind of swept away in sort of an unexpected and adventurous manner by the nature of this current of emotions between the two of you. And they also say, I know one day we will find our way back to each other. So this is almost bringing the idea of like a destiny. It's destiny or fate that they have found you, that the two of you have interacted with one another at this time in your lives. There's a sense of them not wanting to let an opportunity slip by with this, not wanting to miss their chance with you, or if you're at a distance from them, like a no contact situation, there's a sense of, I don't want any more time to go by without revealing the nature of these feelings. They have not dissipated with time. They may have only become more intense as time has gone on. There's a sense of almost it is of a disservice to them to keep this hidden. There's a sense as well of understanding some kind of an apology is owed if you are at a distance from one another, or if it's someone you're still in contact with and they've kind of pulled back within themselves. This again speaks to this urge to sort of give you some sort of explanation, open the door to their heart even more deeply, show up in a more consistent manner, in a more attentive manner than they have in the past as well. They also say we are forever soul and heart connected. So they may be looking at you as a soulmate, something where they've not felt this intensely for someone. They've not felt this intensely for someone so quickly. Or if you've been at a distance from one another, it may even be like the fact that they still feel so intensely for you and time has passed, or a lot of time has passed. All of that is really reinforcing this essence within them that this is a unique connection. It's worth fighting for. It's worth doing what is necessary in order to preserve the foundation that you have with one another and take things to the next level, or to try and salvage and repair what had been broken or torn asunder in the past. They also say, I would like to give this another chance. So again, that's that energy. If you're at a distance from someone, this is speaking about reconciliation, kind of that Six of Cups energy, wanting to start fresh, but with the intention of breaking free of patterns or limits that had kind of blocked the full potential of the situation before. If this is a situation where you're somebody you're kind of currently dealing with, and they may have been a little standoffish, a little closed off about the feelings. There's a sense of almost like, I want to come back around to you, or sort of present in a more dynamic manner than has been the case up to this point in time. But I want to give more than I'm receiving. You may have even just been sort of exerting patience in the situation, which is kind of holding space. That's giving something to the dynamic. And this hasn't gone unnoticed by this individual, that you've actively or even kind of passively been holding space, even kind of holding them in a compassionate place within your heart. And there's a sense of they owe you more sweetness and more consistency and more emotions, more of an engaged kind of energy than has been the case up to this point in time. So there's a sense of almost like you not wanting to have the only impression that you have of them, what they've displayed up to this point in time. Even if things have been going very well between you and this individual, there's a sense of that they're capable of so much more emotionally, so much more romantically, and in some way they've been holding back out of like a self-protective energy. So they're wanting to come out of that and kind of give more, trust more in the situation, allow themselves to love freely and to love you. So these initials can be a first, middle, or last name, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Okay, we've got B, E, V, K, S, P, Y, W, N, H, P, F, G, X, and A. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of those out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2. You chose the Rose Quartz heart. So let's see what's next in your love story. Okay, we have soulmates, enchanting gifts, mountain, strength, Milky Way, perspective, Skady, authenticity, truth, honesty, and Nematona, serenity, meditation, solitude. So there's an energy here of somebody who has really been searching within themselves for the right words to say to you. This can involve kind of confessing their feelings for you. For some, this may even involve kind of a token that in some way solidifies your connection. So some people may be getting engaged. Some people may be having like bigger conversations as far as like putting a label on the situation between the two of you, moving in with one another, taking things to the next level, maybe like taking you home to meet their parents or introducing you to the friend group, something that just sort of solidifies your commitment, it feels like, with one another, and expresses in a very definitive way that the individual that you're watching this reading for is willing to do what it takes in order to overcome whatever challenges have crept up between the two of you or exist between the two of you, something that really demonstrates as well that they're willing to kind of fight through any sort of doubts in your mind and in your heart as far as what they see as in terms of long-term potential in the situation. It's a deepening of the connection. It's bringing up more closeness with one another. Something where they may kind of reveal to you the nature and level of importance that you hold for them, the ways in which you have positively impacted their life, you've impacted their world, you've changed their life for the better. If this is someone that you've been at a distance from or a disconnect with, this is the idea of like extending that olive branch, bringing forth that apology, bringing forth that clarity of like, I see now the meaning and value of this situation. I'm not better off alone. I'm not better off at a distance. I want to do what it takes to break down the walls that have been built between us and to earn back your trust, or secure my place in your life by your side. A sense of somebody that might have been in denial of their feelings in the past that now realizes or recognizes you hold the key to their heart. They've not been able to find the level of satisfaction or wish fulfillment they've experienced with you in any other situation. And rather than just coming back around, it feels like, and telling you that they were wrong or they were mistaken, or they moved too hastily in the opposite direction in the situation, it's almost the sense of not just bringing forth necessarily an apology, but something that really demonstrates that they're wanting to kind of transcend things to a whole new level between the two of you, more than was the case in the past. So it can even be like a grand gesture of apology. Again, somebody that kind of comes in and doesn't just strike up conversation again, but really gives you the level of commitment you were hoping for but didn't get in the past. Something that kind of causes you to be confident within them that any sort of changes that they've endeavored while they were away from you, while they were at a distance, again, elements about you've changed their life for the better. They're reviving the situation, or wanting to revive the situation, putting forth a different kind of effort than they were capable of before. So somebody who has really done that soul searching, somebody who has kind of reached, it feels like, a place of inner tranquility or peace within themselves, or they're seeing you as that person that kind of provides them with that peace. You calm the storms within them, and it's something where they're understanding the value and the worth of that in a way in which they're wanting to really lock down the situation so that there's kind of no mistaking on your part what you mean to them, who they envision you as in conjunction with like their grand, life story. Ways in which they're wanting to make you feel more included in kind of the choreography of who they are as a well-rounded individual, not just somebody that they have feelings for, but almost wanting to make you a fixture within their reality in some kind of way, or wanting to kind of participate more in your reality. So if you're sort of in the early stages of dealing with someone, or it's not necessarily time to kind of take drastic steps forward with one another, this can almost be an energy of sort of something that they do that makes you really feel confident or trusting in the fact that they're wanting to get to know more about you in a well-rounded way, more about you as an individual, a degree of acceptance for sort of what's been shown or what's been demonstrated up to this point in time that can also involve them taking the lead in terms of displaying some degree of vulnerability that might be very difficult for them to usually do. This can talk about, speaking about their feelings or instances that have happened in their past, or kind of deeper layers in the subtleties of who this person is as an individual, that is a demonstration of trust. It's an extension of trust. It's that giving of the gift. In other words, I'm letting you in close enough to wound me, but I trust that my heart is safe with you. It feels that whatever the nature of the circumstance, what is presented, what is provided, it's not just something that is almost like a tempting offer, or something that you would feel that there's like strings attached or that would put up any red flags. It's almost something that it provides you a sense of security that you're dealing with somebody that can factor into your long-term plans in your life, that to continue to invest with this person or to take this person back and give them another opportunity. There's a sense that it almost brings forth from within you that this would be wise, that this isn't just somebody who's claiming that they've changed, but nothing has really changed. So this may even be someone, if you've been at a distance, they've gone through some profound metamorphosis where it's apparent, mind, body, spirit, and soul, that this is almost like a new individual. They've turned a new leaf, or they've really kind of come into their own in a way that was lacking before. Material changes that have happened, emotional changes that have happened, something where it's beyond just words and promises made, but where they're actually able to deliver upon that, and they do in some sort of way, some sort of gesture, some sort of consistency. Even if you sort of keep them at arm's length and are, building that discernment, or using that discernment to kind of build trust gradually, it feels that this is someone who's rising to that challenge. They're willing to do what it takes to kind of scale that mountain, to reach that place where you're on equal footing, or you're feeling comfortable that this person is sort of in it for the long haul. If they'd left you sort of hanging in love alone in the past, this is almost the sense of not just coming back on kind of bended knee and asking for forgiveness, but really going above and beyond to sort of anticipate your needs before you even have to express them, in order to kind of prove that they've changed, that they've grown, that they've evolved, that they prioritize this situation and the value of you allowing them another opportunity to turn things around. Or if it's somebody you're currently dealing with, again, it's almost the sense of maybe something that they do or that they present that really expresses to you beyond words. Like, this person is willing to do what it takes in order to accommodate a space for this situation, not just when it's convenient for them, but they actually make time for you. They make time for the situation. They're invested in kind of nurturing this circumstance. It may be that this person has a lot on their plate at this point in time, or it's been very difficult to kind of connect with them consistently, and so there may be something that they kind of provide or do next that helps kind of give you some sort of insight, some sort of a greater perspective, that while they may be sort of otherwise occupied, maybe with work, maybe other things that they're dealing with, interpersonal challenges, struggles in their life, sort of independent of the situation, and yet they still carve out time in their day for you, or they provide some sort of explanation to you that doesn't just leave you wondering kind of, are they in or are they out of the situation? Where are things headed? What is kind of the long range potential here in the circumstance? It may be that they reveal some things, or allow you into kind of the details of their life in a way that you've not really had access to before, that helps in some way for you to move into more of a state of allowance, trusting in the pace and flow of this connection, trusting that this person is invested in the long range potential between the two of you, and is kind of giving what they can in the present moment, or sort of moving forward as kind of a placeholder sort of energy, but also in terms of building and establishing some sort of trust that in like good times and bad, they're invested. They're all in the situation with you. So let me get a little bit of guidance from Spirit, and then I'll move on into some message cards from this person's higher self, and then I'll close the reading out with some initials. Okay, we have the void, nourishment, and resistance. So there's definitely some guidance here that there's a lot of potential, a lot of creative potential in this situation with the void, to overcome some sort of challenges that have been the case in the past and kind of start fresh, break new ground beyond sort of whatever was the wedge or the block between the two of you, into a place where this love has the opportunity to thrive and grow. It may have been that separation was necessary so the two of you could kind of go through some things or develop into different versions of yourselves, kind of like right person, wrong time energy. And so if it is someone re-emerging from the past, there's almost the sense of, hold fast to those kind of boundaries. Don't just obviously immediately open the door to them. If you've worked really hard to kind of pick up the pieces or grow and evolve and heal from the version of yourself that you were when you were last dealing with them, then this is really that encouragement to honor that personal journey within you. Honor what it has taken to develop this current version of who you are. Hold fast to this, because this is somebody that's coming forth with the present ability and the willingness to kind of rise to the occasion to meet you. Allow them to sort of show you how they've changed and evolved. Allow them the opportunity to really sort of demonstrate what it is they're bringing to the table that was different than the last time. And when you do that, for a lot of you, it feels like there is really the potential to kind of get it right this time, to build something where in the past there may have been a lot of obstacles, internal or external, that sort of thwarted the long-term potential. Something that may really help you to understand that right person, wrong time, but now time has passed and the stars are aligned in favor of this situation. So, really sort of trusting in what can develop out of the unknown in the circumstance. If it's somebody that you've not been in a disconnect with, it's just sort of a current connection, and you're looking at this in terms of like, where are things headed, what's next in the situation. It again really speaks to something where there's a lot of creative potential within this. There's a long-term potential within this. So don't get caught up in kind of any uncertainties as far as being too focused on what does the future hold, what are this person's exact plans down to the most minute detail. There's a sense of almost just enjoying the circumstance for where it's at right now and feeding positive energies, optimism into this kind of creative void of what can develop between the two of you. Resist the urge to sort of judge this situation based on people that you might have dealt with in the past that, couldn't rise to the occasion and meet your emotional needs. Any circumstances where, you had felt let down in love, or any kind of rejection wounds that may sort of come up at this point in time, especially if there's something where there's other elements within this person's life that are kind of causing them to be a little bit distanced from you, or not have as much time for you in the situation. There's almost a sense of guidance here to resist the urge to kind of move into worst case scenario thinking. Allow this person the opportunity to, provide you with some sort of clarity, or really just some sort of token, symbol, gesture, conversation that allows you to understand they are invested in long-term future potential with you. And although it may be kind of difficult at this point in time to sort of navigate that or see in exactly how that will unfold, that overall there's the energy of growth, there's the energy of building, there's the energy of things moving in a very positive direction. So trust in that. Let this person sort of show you what they intend to bring to the table, and then gauge, does this meet your emotional needs, or is this the essence where you're needing to then kind of give them that response as far as what you require more of, what is not really meeting your needs, or what you'd like to next explore with them in terms of the dynamic and how that can grow in a healthy and well-rounded way between you. So let's see what they want you to know from their higher self. Okay, and they say you are my wish fulfillment and I only want you. So that confirms for a lot of you, this is, marking kind of the beginning of some serious conversations between the two of you, plans for the future, some way in which this person is wanting to solidify their place in your life, let you know just how important you are to them, how much you mean to them, how much this connection means to them. There's a sense of any kind of distractions that may be happening, like their energy could be internalized, or there could be some distance or silence between the two of you. It's not because they're looking for other options or looking for an escape route in this situation. They may almost just be working up the courage to, make some kind of big declaration to you. Other things that may have nothing to do with the connection that are sort of depriving them of the ability to sort of bask in your energy as much as they would like to, or have those one-on-one experiences with you as much as they would like to. But there's a sense of wanting to turn that around, seeing you as a light at the end of the tunnel, some sort of grounding force, or almost like a treasure or wish fulfillment that they have wanted. They've needed an experience like this. They've wanted to meet someone like you, and now here you are. And so this is the energy of someone who's willing to do what it takes in order to earn your trust, provide you with security and reassurances, and something that helps you know that kind of any times in which they are sort of pulled back from the situation, it's not for a lack of interest. It may even be trying to build some sort of stability and security so that their self-esteem is better, so that they're able to kind of give and provide and reciprocate what you bring to the table materially, emotionally, energetically. And they also say we are both working together in unison, even if you cannot see it yet. So this really speaks to a like-mindedness as far as wanting to build more with one another, wanting to experience more with one another, envisioning one another in terms of those long range plans and potential. If this is somebody that you're at a distance from, disconnect from, they are actively working to kind of find a way to bridge the gap between the two of you, not just to insert themselves back in your life or repeat kind of stale and outdated patterns, but something that helps to really break free from whatever the loop was, whatever the narrative was before that led to dissatisfaction. It led to the dissolution of the situation. There's a sense of they've been doing the internal work. They've been processing things. They've been releasing certain things. They've been excavating their wounds and seeking to heal those, and are very motivated to move back towards you as a renewed person, as a stronger person, as a reinvigorated version of themselves. They also say your warmth radiates through your soul. So they're very drawn to you. They feel that you are very luminous. You bring a very life-giving energy. You've brought them to life in some way. You've brought their heart to life, or they light up when they're in your presence. There's a sense of them wanting to be a source of joy for you as well, not wanting to have you kind of sit in the energy of doubt or uncertainty, wanting to be very clear about their intentions towards you, whether this is someone returning from the past or like a current situation and they're wanting to take things to the next level. They're not wanting you to have any sort of doubt within your heart, that they are very much drawn towards you, that they're very fixed on the idea of building something in terms of a long-range future potential between the two of you. They also say, I struggle to show you how much I truly care. So this is almost the energy of like words aren't enough. So this is somebody who understands action needs to accompany words. There may have been broken promises in the situation, so they know they need to bring forth something more this time than just a simple I'm sorry, or more than was the case in the past. This can also be somebody who has been heartbroken in their past, and with most adults who hasn't been, but it's the essence of kind of like they've held on to something or a wound that they've sustained from previous connections, or even ways in which they almost might have felt inclined to express something to you but held back, or missed the opportunity, or it didn't come out right, or just whatever might have complicated things, whether you're at a distance, whether you're currently dealing with this person. There's a sense of they're not happy with any ways in which they have denied you the full access to the range and the depth and the nature of what they hold inside emotionally, or what they're capable of emotionally. And so that can be that energy of the mountain, the challenge, the struggle, something that they need to kind of break free from, something that they're willing to show you and demonstrate to you that they want to fight through this. They want to, instead of fighting the feelings, they're wanting to fight their way through that fear in order to move into a place where there's reciprocity, where there's truth, where there's trust, where there's the open flow between the two of you as opposed to holding things back. And they also say, I always knew there was something different about you. So this feels like something, this could have been like a love at first sight situation, something where, if this is somebody who maybe had sworn off love, or, wasn't really looking for a connection, wasn't looking for anything deep and intense, they may have caught feelings for you very quickly, very intensely, could have caught them off guard, could have triggered a lot within that has both motivated them to sort of move beyond a state of woundedness at present. And it feels like also may have been an obstacle that sort of set the tone or the pace of the situation up to this point. Even if things are going well between you and this person, it almost feels like they've been holding back due to some sort of woundedness before, but they're wanting to do what it takes in order to kind of move beyond that pattern, move beyond that paradigm, so there's a greater level of intensity, flow, and reciprocity between you. And they also say, I've been working on my self-love and my self-worth. So if you've been at a distance with this person, it feels like they are coming back around as a changed individual. You may be very surprised by the changes that they have made, something that kind of beyond words, it's just evidenced within them, within how they present, with how they even move towards you, or the ways in which they, sort of extend that olive branch or put themselves out there. It may be very different from the person that you remember, the approach they utilized before, something that demonstrates maturity and growth, something that demonstrates insight and effort, not just promises to change, but the things that they have done that really sort of are displays of metamorphosis, that there's proof within that, evidence within that, and kind of the life that they're living, how they're, again, presenting themselves, or what they're able to give that was sort of lacking in the situation before. So these initials can be a first, middle, or last name, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. You've got I, F, M, J, Y, N, O, S, U, G, D, I, and U. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of those out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 3. Chose the Tiger Iron Heart. So let's see what's next in your love story. Okay, we have Milk and Honey, Soulmates, Cave, Sanctuary, Fire, Passion, Witch, Passion, Beset, Independence, Protection, and Boundaries. So there's a sense here of passion unleashed between you and this individual. Almost a sense of there's no more holding back. There's no more need or motivation or ability to self-restrain. The floodgates emotionally actually being opened between the two of you. So if this is a situation where you've been kind of quiet about your feelings for one another, this can almost be something where it's announced to other people, the presence of one another in your lives, or a sense of you're no longer skirting around the idea of exploring the potentials within this situation. Sexual chemistry at an all-time high between the two of you. A lot of unspoken tension between the two of you. So this almost feels to be something a lot of you may resonate with. This is a situation where you've yet to cross some sort of threshold into, maybe being official. It could be like a situationship, for example, or something where you've not yet explored kind of what it is to experience romance with this person. So it can be kind of like a crush situation, or again, like a sense of there's just a mutual draw or attraction, but there's been some degree of holding back, maybe out of necessity, out of fear, just out of the nature of how long you've known one another or the circumstances themselves. But it's almost the sense of like taking down those walls, taking down that energy of like, why are we waiting? What are we holding back for? What's the reason to kind of like keep all this potential sort of stuffed and stifled within when it feels so right to be with one another. So this can speak even about like alone time with each other, unbridled passions, and even kind of opening up about the nature of attraction. Someone getting ready to confess feelings for the first time. Someone getting ready to tell you just how much you mean to me if it's been uncertain up to this point in time. If it's just been like a situationship, this can be somebody that, expresses like, I've caught feelings, I'm falling in love with you, or I've fallen in love with you. I see you as my future. I see you as my soulmate. I see you as somebody that I want to deepen the bond with. I want to experience more with you than we have had with one another up to this point in time. There's a sense here of good quality time with one another, the experiences with one another, having a lot of that, again, like sexual energy and the creative, potent force with all of that. But there's also the sense of like wanting to create positive memories in other ways with one another. So it's not just limited to that situation if it's all sex, that there's something involved where, there's emotions that are built, there's trust that is built in the situation, there's getting to know one another in a more well-rounded capacity, starting to kind of dip into the energies of, this is something where I feel very safe in your presence. This is something where I see a lot of potential, or I feel a lot of potential. I can no longer kind of deny the crackle of electricity between the two of us. And rather than just leaving this as sort of, the potential of a missed opportunity or something that is very nebulous and undefined, there's almost the sense of wanting to kind of explore the deeper layers and the essence of what we could be to one another and with one another. If you've just sort of had like a casual connection, or it's been strictly platonic, there's almost the sense of this person finally admitting, I want to experience what it would be like to be loved by you. I like the way that you interact on like a friendship level, but what is it to hold a special place within your heart? Something where you've cracked the code on something within them where it's almost like their feelings are undeniable. Their attraction to you is undeniable at this point in time. The more they hold back, the more it gets into this essence and this space of, I can't resist you. I don't want to resist this situation. I want to fall into this circumstance, or I want to fall in love with you. I want to allow myself to experience the transformative power of love, rather than kind of like holding back and maybe just fantasizing or trying to be overly logical in the situation. There's the sense of almost letting the heart take over, letting sort of nature take its course in this situation, but in a way to where it's not as contrived, it's not as constrained as it has been, it's not as kind of linear or controlled as it has been, but really just, again, like unleashing the floodgates in this circumstance, in this situation, and trusting in kind of the deeper ability for the two of you to really meet one another's emotional needs in the ways that you might have already kind of met each other's needs as far as friendship is concerned, ways in which it might even be sort of just, they have a lot of respect and admiration for you as a person, and it's the essence of, I want to get to know you deeper. I want to get to know you on more of that personal level. I want to experience, again, what it is to be loved by you, to love you. There's a sense here that you hold some kind of key or answer for them as far as the way that love should feel, the way that an experience between two people, intimacy and a level of familiarity, what they've experienced with you up to this point in time. There's a sense of, I want more. I want to see what the deeper layers are. What are more of the complexities? How can we change and evolve and show up for one another in a romantic capacity that transcends what is already kind of a very, almost feels like a joyous experience. Even if there's unspoken feelings, there's joy within that, within the essence of like, I desire you, I want you, I want more in this situation. I don't just want to keep this personal truth hidden within, but I want to harness this creative potential to see what kind of a love story can we build, what can grow, what can develop out of this situation. So I'm going to get some guidance from Spirit about this, and then I will get some message cards from this person's higher self, and then close the reading out with some initials. Okay, we have focus, sovereignty, and wisdom. So there's a sense here that you are in a prime position to receive in this situation, and the guidance is really allow this person to step up to the plate, allow them to be the one to kind of make that first move towards you in terms of that deeper confession of feelings, in terms of turning up the volume on your experiences with one another, providing some kind of disclosure, some kind of peek or access point into the nature of their feelings, into the nature of what is maybe a palpable chemistry between the two of you. There's something that you hold a lot of power in this situation, or you are empowering this person simply by you radiating in your most authentic energy, being very self-directed, very self-focused, continuing to kind of pour your efforts and energies into other things in your life that are needing attention, or that are demonstrating kind of the positive results of your attention upon those things in terms of growth polarity. So, focusing on your business, focusing on your wellness, on your self-care, on your spirituality, on your family, on your friends, on your hobbies, on larger goals and dreams, whatever it is that kind of makes your world turn, or are the necessary kind of components of the life you've built for yourself. This person is really sort of admiring that from afar. It's drawn them in. Even if you're in some kind of situationship with this individual, it feels like just the idea or the essence, or watching you or beholding you sort of just tending to your life, just living your life. It's something that has very much empowered this person. They've got their full focus on you. Their eyes are on you. And there's the essence of, I don't just want to remain a spectator. I want to transform this situation into something where we are open and honest about the nature of our feelings. We're exploring these, or I'm at least kind of conveying to you the nature of what I feel within. Because there may be a lot of palpable chemistry between the two of you, but it feels like there's a lot that is unspoken in this situation. It's a threshold that has not been crossed yet. Most likely it feels like, just due to the nature of the circumstances between the two of you, maybe a bit of fear that has caused this person to hold back at this point in time, but it's almost like it is undeniable. There's a sense of, you bring out the best within this person, or you bring out almost a sense of like, love can give me the ability, or the essence or the idea of love with you almost gives me the ability to sort of transcend any kind of fears or hesitations or doubts that had made me sort of closed off or skeptical about the idea of love in the past, or fearful of the idea of love in the past. There's a sense of them wanting to take some sort of leap of faith. You're worth the risk. You're worth what it takes to kind of cross the threshold, to put themselves out there, not knowing, will you accept them? Will you reject them? It feels like the not knowing, it's becoming unbearable. There's a sense that they need to speak their truth. They need to do something. They need to present themselves to you. And in doing that, there's almost the essence here of, they're willing to go all the way in this situation. They're not wanting to come forth and kind of just waste your time, or, build your hopes and fail to deliver. There's almost a sense of, the sky's the limit in this situation, and whatever it is that they feel inside, it's pushing them, it's motivating them to kind of break the silence, break out of some cocoon, liberate something that they kind of hold within themselves emotionally, or even just a very palpable chemistry between the two that's like, it can't go unexplored. They can no longer deny that or hold back on that. And so it's, again, like this guidance of just sort of, hold your ground, continue to sort of live your life, because you've drawn this person in. They're magnetized toward you, and it feels like they're very enthusiastic, very proactive, especially with that kind of double confirmation, with the passion energy. They're very impassioned to take some sort of bold steps towards you. They don't need to sit and think about this anymore. There's the essence of almost like, I see what I want, and what I want is you. And so allow them that opportunity to, kind of present themselves, present what that will look like, to be the one to kind of break the ice in this situation. So let's see what they want you to know. Okay, and they say, I want to come into alignment with you. Yeah, so this is a sense of not wanting to hold back anymore, not wanting to hold back their feelings, sensing that the time is right, or all the signs are pointing in the direction of it is advantageous for them to speak their personal truth, to make clear and known to you that they feel something for you, they feel more deeply for you than they've let on, or that there is an insatiable draw or curiosity they have about what would it be like to be loved by you. And they also say, connect to me telepathically through meditation. So they may be rehearsing what they want to say to you, or even kind of sending signals, telepathically in your direction. So if you're psychic and sensitive, and you're feeling this person trying to communicate with you in that capacity, and it's something that you're open to, this is definitely that invitation to, reciprocate in that manner, because they are open to receive. They're kind of almost waiting to sort of test the waters in that capacity that may be a prelude to something that they bring forth verbally or actually to you. But it's the sense of you're really on their mind, the idea of a connection with you, or what can like develop between the two of you, unleashing whatever has been held back up to this point in time. It's tantalizing. It takes up a lot of that internal landscape and that internal world, not just in a dreamy energy, though. It feels that it also involves some kind of plan, some kind of strategy, something where they're giving themselves a pep talk, like today's going to be the day. I'm going to do it. I'm going to say something. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to convey and express my feelings. I'm going to put myself out there and see what happens. And they also say, I can feel that strong bond we share on a soul level. So they may feel very spiritually connected to you as well. It feels like you in many ways are the full package for them. Mind, body, soul, and spirit. They are very attracted to you. There's an interest in wanting to get to know you better, wanting some alone time, wanting some quiet time where, you can explore kind of the dimensions and the layers of this situation between the two of you, or the potential within all of this chemistry. How can we ground that down into the concrete material world to, maybe generate a relationship with one another that is different from what each of us has had before. The sense of the attraction that they feel towards you may be so intense or different than anything they've experienced in the past that it's almost, there's an energy of wanting to kind of remain very practical in their approach, but not wanting to get so lost in kind of the details or a degree of over perfection that they miss a window of opportunity. Everything within them is screaming to them to do something about this situation. Take that step, take that leap of faith forward. And so they feel very, very motivated, very, very forward facing in terms of no longer holding back and putting themselves out there instead. They also say, I can't stop thinking about what we had. So this speaks about, again, the energy of like fantasy, plans for the future. This person could have thought already multiple times about, this is the day, I'm going to do something, I'm going to say something. Times when you're interacting with one another where they held back and instead of following their heart. And there's regret attached to that. There's almost the sense of sort of like, I wish I had done something more. I wish I had said something more. I wish I had been more clear. I wish I had been able to express myself in a different manner. I trusted in the chemistry between the two of us. I had listened to, kind of this soul level or this higher level bond that they may feel with you. This can definitely be like a higher level soulmate, twin flame energy, counterpart energy where they're feeling that. They're feeling this kind of pull towards you that, yes, there's the energy of like a sexual attraction here, but it kind of goes beyond that. There's almost this essence of limitless creative potential. It doesn't just need to be something that is contained kind of like a physical connection with you. There's almost a sense of they can see you as someone that would be a beautiful component in all quadrants of their life. And so they're wanting to explore this, wanting to, kind of reveal themselves in some sort of manner in order to be able to openly and reciprocally kind of explore what can happen, what can develop between us. And they also say, I wish I could hold you in my arms and tell you how much you mean to me. So again, plans being laid in place to make some kind of bold move towards you. Face-to-face communication or, open sort of declarations of feelings, ways in which they are wanting to bridge any gap between the two of you, or to admit to feelings that have been kind of like bottled up and held inside. There's the sense of wanting to create closeness, wanting to create greater intimacy between the two of you, wanting to kind of take things to the next level. And they also say, I want to reach out to you. So very clear confirmation there that this is somebody who is planning on revealing their feelings. They're planning on making that move, making that gesture, opening up, making it very apparent to you that they see potential in this situation. You have had some kind of effect upon them. They want to co-create with you beyond whatever the present circumstances are into the direction of let's become something more. Let's explore this. Let's not let this opportunity pass us by. Let's do something about this situation. Harness that chemistry, harness that potential, harness that kind of spiritual level, romantic or love-based energy, and really build something. Ground that down into a different kind of connection, or just kind of whatever the nature of this situation, the life that wants to take on in and of itself. There's a sense of this person can no longer hold back or deny. It is no longer reasonable or practical. It no longer makes sense to them to sort of like keep this all hidden. There's an energy of, even if fear is holding them back, they're ready to kind of just leap beyond that into the unknown, into this place of disclosure, into sort of revealing that personal truth and putting themselves out there for you. So these initials can be a first, middle, or last name, or can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got F, L, B, E, J, I, D, N, S, M, M, E, L, R, T, O, and T. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you like a personal reading, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link to that in the description box of the video. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of those out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.